talking about reverse culture shocks I've had coming back to the US after my exchange year in Germany. If you didn't know, I completed an exchange year in Germany in 2021 to 2022, so I've been back for a year and a day at the time of this recording. So I thought, naturally, why not talk about some of the reverse culture shocks I've had? I have 5 written down on my phone, so if I'm looking at that, that's why. The first culture shock I have is using English when ordering at restaurants or when I'm at the store. I don't know why this specifically was weird. I think it's because I was always using German when ordering food in Germany, because although I used German all the time with my host mom and at school and at my internships, I did have German friends and American exchange student friends. With my American exchange student friends, we would of course speak German with each other, but we would of course speak English too, so we would use Danglish, and so I think that's why it was specifically weird for the stores and restaurants, because I was always using German, but with my friends and family I wasn't always doing that, if that makes sense. I remember when I first got back to the US, I went to a Starbucks and I was like, oh god, what do I say? What if I like mess up ordering in my own language? Because my sister visited me towards the end of my exchange year, and when she was ordering food at the restaurant in Leipzig, I remember she was like, I'll do this one. And I was like, I'll do? Why are you saying I'll do? But yeah, it's how we order food. I say it now as well, so. The second culture shock I have is the lack of public transportation, of course. So even in my small dorf, my small village in eastern Germany, in Saxony, we still had a bus, and I could take the bus to the next town and then take the train to the city. It was so nice. It took like an hour, maybe a little more with waiting time. But here, I have no bus whatsoever in my small town in the US, in Illinois. And if I want to go to the city, to Chicago, which is an hour away by car, I hate driving, so I would have to drive to the nearest train station, which is 20 minutes away. And then I could take the train for either an hour or an hour and a half. So it's not ideal, and I miss Deutsche Bahn. Leading into the third thing I have is about driving. Now, I was expecting to like forget something about driving. I have a horrible memory. This probably isn't for everyone, but I thought driving would be kind of like scary, and I don't know, I'd forget how to drive because we weren't allowed to drive with my exchange program I was on. But when I got back, I actually remembered everything. I'm like, wow. So that was a culture shock for me. Maybe not necessarily a culture shock, but like a personal thing, because people with good memories know like, oh, I'm not gonna forget how to drive. Like, people were telling me that, but I'm like, I have a horrible memory. You don't understand. But it was actually fine. So if anyone's worried about driving after not driving for a while, I think you'll be good. The fourth thing I have is the unhealthy food. Oh my god, this was like probably the most negative culture shock of all. Unhealthy food. I was really surprised sorry, I just messed something up. I was really surprised in a good way. Was it good? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I was really surprised when I got back, because before I went to Germany, I could eat, if you know instant ramen, I'll put a picture. I could eat those. They're really unhealthy, full of salt, sodium, like every night if I wanted to, before Germany. And I would also eat like half a bag of these Dorito Dynamitas, my favorite snack. I'll also put a picture. Now that I've been back, I cannot stand more than a couple of those chips, the Dorito Dynamitas. And I only like to eat ramen once in a while. Like, I cannot have it all the time. And that is just crazy to me because, like, I know, of course, that in the US we have unhealthy, not as healthy food as in Europe, and we have more chemicals and whatnot. Like, everyone knows that, but, like, to actually feel it with myself, that was crazy because I've grown up my entire life here, been eating the food for 18 years. Then I go to Germany for 1 year, and my body cannot handle what it could for the 18 years that I had lived in the US. So that was really, really weird to experience, but that's why I'm like, I don't know if it was a good thing because it's like now I'm healthier and can eat healthier, but it's also not a good thing because that means what I'd consumed for 18 years and what all Americans consume is not good. It's conflicting. I have conflicting opinions about that culture shock. And the last thing I have, I don't really know how to explain this one, but like the way people talk kind of surprised me. I don't know, like I was at work and people just can talk really negatively here. I don't know how to explain it. Like they'll talk really negatively about people and then be nice to them. Like it's fake. I guess it's like attitudes. Like, you know, Germans have the stereotype of being blunt and, you know, rude, even though I think it's nice that they tell the truth. And then Americans have the stereotype of like smiling at everyone and like being nice, even though they're actually fake. And so I think maybe that's what that was, is like those two stereotypes. Like I hate generalizing and I hate stereotypes, but that was more of my experience, and I do not like the attitude, the American attitude that I have experienced. I like the more honesty and more blunt and, you know, I don't know how to explain it. If that makes any sense. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but just the way people talk was surprising, I guess. Maybe I forgot what English sounded like. That could be it. I don't know. Oh my god, I'm doing like a gun, like US. I'm sorry, that was really bad. Okay. Well, I'm like allowed to make a joke about it because those are all of the culture shocks that I could discuss in this short video, or reverse culture shocks that I could discuss in this short video. There's, of course, the major things that like everybody already knows, like, you know, come back here and can't drink alcohol anymore legally. I was expecting that though, it wasn't a culture shock, but it does make you feel like a baby when you're at a restaurant and you're like, oh, I can't even get anything if I wanted to. So there's that, but I don't think it was really a culture shock. But yeah, it's been pretty crazy, been back for a year, and I'm going back to Germany this spring. I'm very excited. Now I get to be Berlin city life instead of small Dorf village life, so I'm very excited for that. Thank you for watching. Danke für Zuschauen und tschüss!